family, welcome back to the channel. I am so excited for you to be here today. Today I'm going to tell you the first 3 decisions that you need to make before you start planning your virtual gala. The first 3 things that will set you on the right path to having a goal-busting virtual gala. Before I get into that, I just want to say thank you all for everyone who watches these videos. I appreciate it so much. Like 90% of you do not subscribe, and if you subscribe, all it does is it's free, number one, and it tells YouTube that you like this content, that you like this information I'm giving it to me, and it tells me you like this information. So if you could simply hit that red button, it would mean the world to me, or give me a thumbs up. If you can't commit to subscribing, doesn't mean I get your email or anything. It just means you tell YouTube and me, yes, Abra, your virtual gala videos are helpful and we appreciate them. So subscribe if you can. Okay, let's talk about the 3 big decisions and let's get into the video. The first decision that you're going to make is going to be made with a very small group of people because you just can't have that many opinions about this virtual gala in this first decision. So the first decision that you need to make, and it's usually your executive director, your development director, and your board chair, not your whole board, not your whole event committee, just those 3 key executive leadership people, team members, whatever you want to call them, is it going to be live? Is it going to be hybrid, which means partially live and partially pre-recorded, or is it going to be all pre-recorded? So that's the first decision that you have to make. Very quickly, live means you're going to be doing it on Zoom, or you're going to be renting a studio and a broadcast team and bringing in people, and you're going to be doing this event live. It's kind of like telethon style can be, or it has to be like highly rehearsed, but that's what live means. You get one shot at it and that's it. Pre-recorded means you are recording most of the segments ahead of time, and then you're going to premiere it live, or you're going to premiere it on some kind of website, whether that be your own or a giving website or through YouTube or Facebook, one of those 2. That's your second decision. We'll get there in a second. And typically you're creating a TV episode or a movie, and when it's time to watch, people just press play. And then hybrid is a combination of both. It's some pre-recorded elements and some live elements. I think personally this is the hardest way to go. It's the most work on both ends. You have to do both a live performance and a pre-recorded performance or segments, and it's really hard. The reason why this is your first decision is because making this decision will guide you on the path of what technology to use, what your budget's gonna be, and how much work it's going to be. The easiest way to do this is obviously to do Zoom, and that's live. So that may be your option. It's also one of the cheapest options, and there are some pretty awesome Zoom fundraising technologies that are coming out in the next coming months. I can't talk about them yet, but I think this is, more people are gonna be doing live in 2021. Once you've made this decision, then, and part of this decision is budget, right? How much do we want to spend on each of these? And if you want to do Zoom, be prepared to spend like $2,000 just on production kind of stuff that you have to do. And pre-recorded is going to be like, depending on who's making it for you, can be anywhere from $2,000 to $10,000, and then hybrid can go up from there. And fancy live events, live virtual events can even go up to like $40,000. So make your decision about live, hybrid, or pre-recorded, and then set your budget, what you are prepared to spend on this event. Your second decision is, are you going to stream this public or privately? Publicly means that it's going to be on a website or on your website that is only going to be accessible through a special link and a password. So it's not going to be widely available and viewable to the public to just stumble upon and share in its first watch, in its first week or so. So this is how like One Cause and BitPal and Greater Giving, they do it. They have you log in, and like Qtago, etc. They have you log in and you watch it actually within their own platform. But if I want to share it with a friend, I can't share the link. They have to register themselves to get a link. So that's privately. Publicly would mean something like, and also Zoom would be private. Publicly would mean we're going to stream this on Facebook, and anyone who wants to watch can watch. So we can blast this out in our newsletter, we can blast this out on Facebook or Instagram. We can make it really exciting, and anyone who just follows us and likes us can follow along. So that's the difference. So decide public or private. And then there's also combinations of those that you can do. Like you can record your Zoom and then put it on YouTube, but it's a little bit different. And the third and final option is how you're going to fundraise. Are you going to fundraise in advance, or are you going to focus all of your fundraising energy on the day of? I recommend that most people put all of their energy into fundraising ahead of time. You're going to close those gifts $500 to $1,000 and up, and make sure the money is in the bank before you go live, or before you start promoting this, or before you put this up, your pre-recorded video up for publication and for viewing. So that's what I would choose, but many organizations focus on, we want to raise money the day of, which are different conversations, right? That's calling your donors and say, make sure you tune in and make sure you click the button at the right time so that we can have that real-time fundraising. So are you going to fundraise ahead of time, or are you going to fundraise in real time? Now, if you want my advice, what I would recommend to you if you were my client, I would say be prepared to spend $5,000 on a virtual gala and do it pre-recorded or hybrid. Hybrid's riskier, but you could do a decent gala in Zoom, and with some of the new Zoom features coming out that allow in Zoom fundraising, I think a lot of you guys are gonna really enjoy that. If you don't wanna do Zoom, then I'm gonna recommend the pre-recorded gala. I think it's the easiest, the simplest to control, and quite honestly, there's high school students and college students who have like the same editing skill levels that I do, and most people have like a decent quality iPhone, and you can get the majority of your work done that way, of your video content that way. You don't have to hire anyone fancy. You can if you want, but during COVID, there's so many other layers to this process. The second decision is public or private. I like public personally. I still think you want everyone to register ahead of time, but I think public viewing is the whole purpose of a virtual gala. It allows your donor base to expand outward. It allows it to be shareable, and it's not a recording of something else that then goes onto Facebook or YouTube. So I'm a big fan of the public, plus it's cheap and free. If you want to stream on multiple platforms at once, you're going to need something called restream.io. It's like $99. It's very simple and easy to use, very user intuitive, and that's what I would recommend. And then the third option is fundraising. And I've already given my opinion on this, but I think it's so risky to go into a virtual gala and just hope that people aren't busy at that exact moment in time, that people are ready to give when you need them and want them to give to get that thermometer to move. So I think you focus the majority of your energy as a development director, as an executive director, on getting those gifts in ahead of time. Plus it allows you to connect with your donors. And so that way your virtual gala, instead of becoming this moment in time when you have to raise all this money, it becomes like a beautiful finish line that your donors who have already given feel good about watching, and that potential new donors who have not given yet are encouraged to give. But for example, I'm working with a school right now. They're gonna end up raising around $450,000 ahead of time, and they're expecting to raise between $5,000 and $10,000 the night of. So just think about those numbers and where are you gonna put your energy? We're putting our energy into the $450,000 that we know we can get ahead of time. And because we know we're gonna get all that money ahead of time, we don't need to do a big fund in need. We don't need to do a huge live appeal. We don't need to waste your time watching the thermometer go up, because everyone who's watching this, who's engaged, really has already given. And then everyone who's watching this who's not already given is inspired by how much money we have already given. It's much better than watching that thermometer tick up incrementally or even not hitting your goal. So those are your three big decisions to make. If you have any questions, leave them down below. I always answer the questions. Again, give this video a thumbs up and a subscribe if you can. Let's spread the virtual gala information far and wide, and I will catch you guys in the next video, and I will hopefully be not pregnant. All right, guys, I'll see you soon. Take care.